About 2 years ago on January 12, 2021, Bethesda released a teaser trailer announcing a new Indiana Jones project in collaboration with Lucasfilm Games. To this point, we haven't heard too much about it, and somehow during this time we even had a new Indiana Jones movie get released, which definitely happened. But about the game, there hasn't been a whole lot until recently, which is why in this video I want to put together the bits and pieces that we know about the game, as I'm starting to believe that it could be coming sooner rather than later. In case you don't already know, the game is currently being developed by MachineGames, who are the ones who created the Wolfenstein games, and recently some new added levels to the original and second Quake games. This is a talented studio with a lot of expertise now under their belt, but like I mentioned before, there will be some partnership work alongside Lucasfilm Games, which we don't entirely know if it'll be more of a advising capacity or actual hands-on development. My guess is it'll probably be a little bit of both. Todd Howard will also be the executive producer of the game, which could mean honestly a number of different things, but it leads as a perfect segue onto the next thing we know, which is that Todd himself confirmed that he is midway through executive producing the game. In a recent interview with GQ, he states that the game is a bucket list thing for himself and offers some compliments to MachineGames, saying that they're doing a really great job. What this all means is above my head. I don't really know what executive producer exactly does, but what I can interpret is that he likely has a good amount of input on the story and gameplay of the game itself, but the game is still essentially in pre-development. They could potentially be testing out things in the engine, but from the sounds of it, the game is likely in very early development. But I bet once everything is in place for the game to be made, we should expect to see it build out in no time. Xbox and Microsoft are trying everything in their power to win back this console generation, and if they see the potential in this game, I bet we can see a release in late 2024 or maybe 2025. They are desperately trying to make up ground on PlayStation, and the fact that an IP as big as Indiana Jones is on their side could prove that they want to see this game release sooner rather than later. But with all that being said, for right now, all that we have to go off of is the teaser trailer, which we can actually dig out a good amount of information from. If you look closely, there's a map of Vatican City, as well as writing that states I'll be arriving in Rome, meaning that the game will likely take place in Italy, or at least some portions of the game will take place there, or maybe it'll serve as a central hub. We'll just kind of have to wait and see. As for the time frame, Indy's ticket is dated as 1937, so if we put on our history caps for a second, we take a look back. Italy in 1937 was actually smack dab in the middle of the fascist reign of Mussolini. Towards the end of the year, Italy left the League of Nations in solidarity with Germany, basically beginning Italy's intimate relationship with Nazi-occupied Germany. So we should expect to see a lot of pre-war politics and drama pop up during the game, alongside some adventures out there in the wild. So we should expect to see maybe places like North Africa, maybe some places in Europe that we haven't seen before, or maybe places in the Middle East as well. This also means that the game will take place a year after Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is super exciting, confirming that we'll see plenty of young Indy along the way. Lastly, and I want to apologize to all the PlayStation players out there, but it is extremely likely at this point that the game will only be coming out to Xbox and PC. In fact, that's what the rumors are saying right now at the moment as well. If the recent release of Starfield and Redfall, never mind, let's ignore that, tells us anything, we should expect that Bethesda and Microsoft will stay true to their commitment to bring more first-party titles on Microsoft platforms. This will also mean that we should expect to see the game released day one to Game Pass as well. So now I'll pass the question on to you guys. What do you want to see from an Indiana Jones game in 2024 or 2025? I personally would love to see some great hand-to-hand combat mixed with gunplay, maybe some challenging puzzles, and more importantly, interesting and diverse locations that we just haven't seen before. If they somehow manage to capture all of those different features, I feel like we'll have a great game on the way. If you're looking forward to playing the game in the future, or just want to keep up to date with all the news on it, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. It means a lot to me and lets me know what you want to see more of. But until the next video, I will catch you guys all later.